Hi everybody, and welcome to the Return Homestead. Today we're making French toast keto style. This is super easy. The recipe was written for 8 eggs, 8 ounces of cream cheese, room temperature, 8 ounces of butter, room temperature, and then it calls for a 1/4 cup of sweetener, and you'd want to use a keto-friendly sweetener. I will be using stevia drops. You can use Splenda, remember that has erythritol. You can use monk fruit allulose, and you're going to need a blender. I'm using a Vitamix. You can use any blender. So the first thing you want to do is turn your oven up to 350, and mine is currently preheating. So you're going to start with 8 eggs. And this all just gets put in the blender. Now, the recipe calls for 8 ounces of butter. I'm only using 1. It was way too greasy for me. In fact, it was floating in grease. So if you need the fat because you're keto or paleo or carnivore, you can do that. But to me, it was way too greasy. So the butter is room temperature. It calls for 8 ounces of cream cheese, and this is the full fat cream cheese. You don't want the light. The light has more carbs. You're going to go ahead and add that in. Now, if you watched my video on making extracts, here's a good way to use them. This is cinnamon, and this is the vanilla that I made. The recipe didn't call for any extracts at all, but I added them. So I'm going to make 1 cinnamon and 1 vanilla. And to the cinnamon, I'm going to add some ground nutmeg. I normally don't measure a lot, so I'm just putting a little sprinkle in there. And then I'm just going to add some cinnamon extract. And this is to taste. You don't have to put as much as I did. Mike likes cinnamon, so I put quite a bit in. 3 tablespoons. Then you want to go ahead and put the lid on and blend it up. Now I have prepared pans. You need to oil your pan. I use coconut oil. You can use whatever oil you want. You can spray them, whatever. They will slide right out once you're done, but be sure to oil them. And then basically all you're going to do is pour this in the pan. It's about the consistency of runny pancake mix, I suppose. Now this goes in the oven for 30 to 40 minutes. But since I'm making two, I'm going to set that one aside and make the other one, and I'll be right back. So now that I've got my cream cheese, eggs, butter, and vanilla in this batch, I didn't show you that I added stevia drops on the last batch, but make sure you put your sweetener in. Now we're going to be using low sugar jam. You can use sugar-free syrup on this. You could use the blackberry sauce. I showed that in a different video over the top of it, and that was made with monk fruit allulose. But you'll want to put some sweetener in. It doesn't take a quarter cup, because if you're putting something sweet on top, to me that's too much sugar. And this gets blended up. And again, you're just going to put it into a prepared pan. And that goes in the oven for 30 to 40 minutes until a knife inserted in the center comes out clean. Now this will rise quite a bit. I usually put a pan underneath just in case it goes over. I haven't had it go over yet, but I don't like cleaning the oven, so. When it comes out of the oven, it's puffy like this. This one here has been out for about 5 minutes, and it will start to settle. I don't know why they got done at different times, but they did. This looks like it might be a little bit bigger pan. I'm not sure. But anyway, as you can see, it's already starting to flatten down. And now we're going to let these cool. In order to put them in a frying pan or in the toaster, they need to be room temperature or colder. So I'm going to let these cool before I start getting them ready for dinner. We eat eggs about every other night for dinner. It's a good protein source for us, and like I said, we have a lot of eggs coming in currently, so it's not a big deal. I try to find recipes that are different than just like sausage or bacon and eggs. And this one fits the bill. Now that these come down to room temperature, you're going to slice them up. And as you can see, they come out very easily. So I have a pan warming up on the stove, and it's coated in coconut oil. Yeah. So I'm going to put that on a medium heat, let that come up to heat. And these are going to fry up. Now you can put these in a toaster if you choose. I'm going to use the pan. But they're firm. So it makes it really nice. Oh. And you can make them as thick or thin as you want. I made them the size of regular French toast. There we go. Broke one.
It'll still taste good.
Mm-hmm. Now, if you caught the video on pancakes, I gave the recipe for a blackberry sugar-free syrup, so you can add that to it. This is a low sugar strawberry jam that I made. This is Christmas jam that I also made a video on, so you can get that recipe. This is no sugar carrot cake jam, also we've got a video for that. We'll put a link in for that. And homemade peach jam.
Yeah, you do.
Now this is full sugar. So I did a video on this as well. So we'll try and put a link to that. So basically you're going to fix this like you would any other French toast. Butter if you want. Make sure you add your carbs for the jams. So if you're going to go full bore jam, I would make sure that I did minimal depending on what carb level you want to be at. We try to stay under 30. So I would go mostly for the no sugar, low sugar alternatives.
I've been dying to try out this peach jam. We haven't had anything recently that this would go good on, but definitely going to go good on this French toast. A little jam on there. Oh, that's looking good.
Cheers.
Cheers, right?
Mm-hmm.
Let's see. I can't tell that from French toast. I mean, I know there's no bread in there. I know that's just egg, but you can't tell the difference.
So a keeper?
Yeah, definitely a keeper. No, this is just like eating French toast. I promise you won't know the difference between this and, without bread and French toast made with bread. This is fantastic.
Cool. I hope you give this recipe a try. I wasn't so successful on finding my fluffy pancakes, but this tastes like French toast. If you like this kind of video, please give us a thumbs up. It really pushes our videos out a little bit further. I want to thank you for joining me today on the homestead. Thank you. God bless. Bye-bye.